The fact that Drake May is going to have a Pro Bowl next to his name as a rookie dog. He had 2 wins on the season.
Bro, Mac Jones, his rookie year with the Patriots as well, got a Pro Bowl, and then literally is a fucking backup quarterback in the NFL. Like, can't even get on the field.
I think they should start calling it the Participation Bowl because all the good players don't actually play in it.
Every Detroit Lion should not show up. They should be fucking at the facility, gang banging the playbook and watching film because those motherfuckers do not deserve a vacation or nothing. We are a poverty franchise that needs to get back to fucking work to maybe one day win a playoff game again before we go another fucking 50 years of just losing and bullshit. Welcome to the Real Oshow. I'm Zachary. Joining me as always is my partner in crime, my brother Joshua.
And on today's episode, we talk Jake Paul and Logan Paul's face-off, and is the Super Bowl overrated?
They paper getters, they want money more than they want fame shit. I swear we go so hard, we on A-list. I see my niggas prevailing. We going hard for the hand. We gonna stack till we jaded.
This is a great interview. They doing their thing.
So I want to talk about, Joshua, the greatest troll job by 2 brothers in the history of the internet age, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, are now apparently about to face off in March, I believe. And I just want to come out first before people click off this video or go to something else. The biggest scam job ever is taking place by the Paul brothers, and we're all loving it.
The Paul brothers are the greatest marketers of our time. But I don't think it's a fight. I don't think it's a fight at all. And 2, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot because as we record this, they're about to shoot a live tonight. Everything we say about this is going to be like outdated here very shortly. I think they could be fighting, but maybe on different people. Like, I think they're just using them as, like, the headliners because that's how they got into it. Like, if you go back to the first Logan Paul-Jake Paul fight ever, Logan fought KSI and Jake fought Desi, KSI's younger brother. It was a brother on brother. Jake beat Desi, KSI beat Logan.
I was also wondering if it's maybe like a WWE match.
They could be.
That's what I was thinking. Because obviously Logan Paul's massive, and my prediction is he's going to win the WWE championship. Now bringing Jake Paul,
but it might not be wrestling. So the only way that it could be wrestling, which actually now that I think about it, it can't be because when you look at the date, I believe it lands on a Thursday. And that's why it's so odd. Why would it land on a Thursday? And one, WWE just did a thing with Netflix. So I doubt that in that contract in the same calendar year, they could do something with Max because it's with HBO Max. So that's where it makes me think that it is something in the boxing realm because HBO was all boxing back in the day. Like, that was their claim to fame, essentially.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be boxing. They're definitely boxing somebody.
I was even thinking, though, why do it on a Thursday, though? Because, and guys, I could be a complete jackass right now. That date could be like, it could not be a Thursday, but I'm pretty sure when I looked at the date, it was a Thursday.
Regardless of the day, people are going to watch Jake Paul and Logan Paul fight.
100%.
You could put it on a fucking Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. in the middle of the workday, and everybody's going to watch.
It doesn't make sense for Logan and Jake to fight because if Jake says he wants to be a world champion, if Jake wants to continue boxing, the Logan fight's always there. Why would you do it?
That's the fight you do when you're about to sail off into the sunset.
Yes.
You're going to get your fucking $50 million each, and you're fucking off the grid forever.
Because I don't
win, lose, or draw.
I don't care what anybody says. Like, they can be entertainers all they want. But, like, fist fighting your brother is going to cause some animosity. One of you guys is going to win. In best case, one of them gets knocked the fuck out because then there's like undisputed, like, you won. Could you imagine if Jake wins by decision, which is how I think it will happen if they actually fought? Logan's gonna be like, oh, we need a rematch. Yeah. And it's like, bro, I love Logan, but he's never won a boxing match. So it's like, why go fight him? Like, what? It doesn't make sense for Jake. Like, that's the fight you do when you're sailing off in the sunset. Like,
so it's confirmed HBO Max.
Sorry for the interruption, but as we were editing, the Paul brothers announced that they are doing an HBO reality TV show called Paul American. We were way off, so back to the show. See, Jake is exploiting boxing, in my opinion. And this is why I think Dana White is going to come in and fix it.
But isn't that what Floyd Mayweather did?
Yes, but that's my point. All the good people are exploiting boxing, which ruins. That's why when you look at boxing, no one gives a fuck. Like, Jake was just chirping the UFC the other day and being like, bro, that's like glorified kickboxing. They're not, and it's like, yo, it doesn't matter because the UFC is the pinnacle. I don't care what anybody says. I could pair up all the UFC champions and I put all the boxing champions in America. No one will even know the boxing champions other than maybe Canelo. That'd be the only one anyone would ever know.
You're saying current?
Current.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
My point
What about
is,
Tank Davis? People would know Tank.
I don't even know if Tank is like a current like champion. Maybe he is, but like he's just, again, Tank is one of those guys where it's like boxing doesn't make sense. Who is the champion? Who fucking knows? And that's where there's a room. Like that's why Dana is so fucking smart and he's starting this new boxing league, because there's so much opportunity to actually build something that is unison.
Well,
this is who the champion is for 135, 145, whatever the fucking weight class is.
This is what I think you're getting at. And we see it a lot in the NFL. Protect the shield. There's a government body, Roger Goodell, the owners, etc. The UFC has that. Dana White, very clear. What college football is lacking? Who the fuck is running college football? It is the Wild West, and I feel like that's what you're kind of coming at. Boxing, and I agree with you.
But college football has the college football playoffs, so you still can get picked if you're a good team. This is the problem.
But I'm saying more so from the government body of the transfer portal, the paying people, you can leave like that. That's the Wild West. But there's no rules.
Yes, and so is boxing.
I'm agreeing.
Boxing is worse.
But Joshua, I'm getting that. I'm agreeing with you.
I'm just saying.
You're so just on edge. You're like, I'm ready to fucking argue about anything.
The boxing, because you're not understanding it. Boxing it'd be like Alabama is undefeated, and then it would be like Ohio State is undefeated, and they'd be like, we're just never gonna play each other because why would we? Because you're the best. I'm gonna talk shit to you, but we're never gonna play each other ever in the history. That's boxing. You'll be like, oh, I'm the best. I have a belt, and the other team be like, well, I'm the belt. I'm the best, and then they'll be like, but we'll fight. We'll fight. Okay, well then maybe if you don't eat for fucking 6 days before and can't hydrate, maybe we'll fight then. And it's like, dude, that's not how it should be. Like the UFC, if you are a world champion, if you're the number one, if you're the champ in the UFC, you are forced to fight number 2, number 3, number 4. You have to. There's no other option or you lose your fucking belt. In boxing, you can win a championship and just be like, I'll never fight a motherfucker again. I'm going to go fight the 32-year-old who's got 0 wins. Look at me, champion. That's how boxing is, bro. None of these motherfuckers actually fight good people. That's why
because there's no government body.
There's no incentive.
But there's no one making people enforcing rules, because boxing has done a lot. Like we talked on our last show, the NBA has gotten so big because they glorified the star. That's what boxing did. They glorified the star. They glorified Floyd Mayweather and all the people that came before him. Now you have like Tank Davis, where it's like boxing wants the person who's 42-0. That's just like the shiny object, where UFC's like, nah, you can be the best fighter in the world and get knocked out fucking 8 times.
But the best fighter in the world isn't fucking 82-0. Like it, or 50-0 or whatever.
I agree with you.
If you're fighting the top people, you are going to get caught. It's just the fucking, and that's
agree.
That's what makes good fights. That's why, for love or hate for Conor McGregor, has he lost some bad fights at the end? Of course. But the motherfucker talked it, he'd back it up, and then he would go again. It's like, that's the people I respect. Like, that's why Conor was so big, was because he was never afraid to fight the biggest guy. He was like, who's the biggest guy? Let's go. Where Floyd, again, he went at Floyd. He knew, he was like, bro, I might not win. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna fight this dude. Now, don't get me wrong.
Conor sees dollar signs.
Of course he does, but it's because he knows how to promote himself.
Same with Floyd. Floyd promoted himself to be this greatest boxer, but he was also very strategic about when he would fight people. He would get them a couple years after his prime. He calculated all his punches, so he's like, I know they're not going to touch me. I might not knock anybody out, and he just knows.
That's the difference between Conor, though. Conor was a double champ, the first ever in UFC history. That means he had to fight all the best people in one division, beat their ass multiple times, and then he had to protect it. He had to like defend his belt multiple times, and then after whooping everyone ass in the division multiple times, he was like, Dana, let me go up. Then he whooped the fucking champ of the other division, who was one of the greatest champions ever.
Who?
Eddie Alvarez. So it's like, people don't understand there's levels to it. Like, who did Floyd fight that was the greatest ever? Manny Pacquiao? He fought
Canelo when Canelo was younger, though.
Canelo was like 20 years old.
But he was like the guy then. But he was.
It does not matter, Zachary.
Floyd was older too.
Floyd had 40 fucking professional fights. Canelo had like 9.
I'm not defending Floyd. I think Floyd dodged plenty of people and he was very calculated. But it was also called pay-per-view for a reason.
I don't disagree.
He made the pay-per-view. He made boxing, and that's why boxing's dying, because there's no Floyd Mayweather. I agree that Dana White will help boxing, or will then allow the actual boxing federation to then take Dana's idea or bring Dana in to create some type of actual schedule, playoff standings and to create a real champion and to force people to fight. I fully agree with that.
It's not a playoff standings. It's just having pound for pound rankings. And you just said boxing was the best with Floyd. Floyd ruined boxing. Floyd built up all these big fights, and then they were just underwhelming, which made people be like, no one gives a fuck. The difference between UFC and boxing is motherfuckers are getting their heads taken off in the UFC. And it's like you can't hide anywhere. In boxing, everyone is hiding. Like Jake, I love him. I love Jake. I think Jake is killing it. But the caveat of this whole thing is he is handpicking everything. Ooh, this. Ooh, that. Ooh, this. Like, Jake's not really fighting. Like, he's fought some. Like, if you look at Jake's blind resume, you'd be like, holy fuck, dude. He's fought some crazy dudes, and he has. But just Floyded him way past their prime.
Floyd's made the recipe. But anyways, I want to talk about why we're still on the topic of Paul brothers. Logan Paul once bought like a $3.5 million fake Charizard. And obviously, I don't know if it's actually been 100% confirmed that it's fake or wherever it led, but 100% like definitely sketchy. Now Sotheby's, which is one of the probably most known auction places, is now getting exposed for selling millions of dollars of fake Pokemon prototypes. And this is going to be fucking killer to the Pokemon franchise. And really auctions. It's just like shit is getting so good at being fake that like what the fuck is real?
I see, like, to me, that's either like they're doing an inside job where they're trying to make their own money, or they got duped so bad. But then it reminds, I'm like, how do you as an auction house, or are they the auction house?
Sotheby's is the auction house.
Okay, yeah, I don't know how you
get
duped like that.
So I have some notes here. So it was supposed to be one of the 6 creators of Pokemon created these prototypes, which is like Acubane. I might be saying it wrong. It's one of the 6 like main creators of the Pokemon cards. They then got them graded by CGC, which is like literally the number one grader for Pokemon cards. Like if you have a big Pokemon card, you take it to CGC. You don't go to PSA, you go to CGC.
So it's on CGC.
Correct.
So yeah, see, that to me, that doesn't even put me on the auction house, because who found out? Was it the people that got it after the fact?
I actually don't know how it got leaked.
Because to me, it's
so what I think happened is they printed the cards off an actual just like normal fucking printer, and the printer keeps all the information of like what it is. So like people I think were going through, or someone was like looking through it for whatever at the end of the year and saw all these Pokemon cards get printed in 2024, and these prototypes should have been created in like the fucking 80s, 70s, like way long ago, and that's how they caught it.
See, that's really odd to me. So they were so good, but they were just printed off a fucking printer?
I think that's how they print
I don't
them.
know.
I think that's how they print them.
This whole situation seems sketch. It's on CGC. Like, to me, when I hear that and they got these all graded by CGC, that makes me think in my head, like, CGC needs to go away. Like, they should be gone. Like, that's in my head. I'm like, anything that is graded by CGC does not mean anything to me anymore.
Maybe. But like, things have just gotten so good.
Because that's not even on the auction house. Like, to me, it's like, I paid you motherfuckers to do the job. I sell the product.
I don't think it's definitely not on Sotheby's. They're the middleman of it all. It's gonna be CGC getting sued. Probably is my guess.
I don't even know how that happens. Like, that's so bad. Like, that's so bad. But that's why, hey, PSA. I've never heard PSA have some shit like this.
But
I don't know.
Once again, people aren't trying to fucking fake Justin Herbert rookie cards. People are trying to fake the fucking $1 million Pokemon card. Pokemon is just way more popular. That's all it is.
I think sports cards are definitely getting faked. Probably not the newer ones, because why would you? They're fucking printed like hotcakes. But the old ones,
maybe.
You don't think someone wants a fucking what's that old dude? Honus Wagner? These are the ones printing off a Honus Wagner card? I bet they are.
Honus Wagner, was he a basketball player?
No, he's a baseball player. It's like that's like one of like the rarest rookie cards.
That's right.
In the world.
Yeah. PBD talks about that guy.
Yeah.
Honus Wagner, was like 100% better baseball player than Honus Wagner was.
For sure.
Fucking bum.
Dude, those guys were drinking. Dude, Babe Ruth was drinking a fifth of fucking rum before the game and then having 3 steaks, smoking cigarettes on the bench. Like, you
It's,
What do you mean?
It's stupid. Thinking of fake. Let's talk about the Super Bowl now, because the Super Bowl, as you actually educated me on, Joshua, 1% of the tickets get sold to the public.
Yeah,
so it is a glorified corporate function.
Yeah, it's a VIP corporate retreat, because how the breakdown works is the NFL obviously retains 75% of the tickets. 20% go to corporates, 5% go to like some NFL executives, whatever, and then like 1% is left. Now, that 75% of the NFL, that's part of that 1%. They only sell 1% of those to the general public. 40% of it goes to all the teams, and then the two teams in the Super Bowl get 17%. So I know I just threw a lot of percentages out there.
So what are the teams? So the Lions, the poverty franchise of the NFL, what do they do with their tickets?
So Lions will get like 2% of the tickets, maybe a little less. When I say 2%, it's really like in between 1% and 2%.
Yeah.
It just varies. What happens is they auction them to some of their people. Like, so if you're
like a big ticket holder,
yes, if you're like, so they have a lottery system. Most teams have lottery systems, but that's normally when you make the Super Bowl. When you only have the 1% to 2%, a lot of times it's the big guys that are going. Like it's the people inside the building that are going to that, being like, oh, hey, you want to go? Now, maybe like a team like Detroit, they're going to sit there and be like, hey, we want to host a Super Bowl again. They might be sending a team down there being like, yo, what are they doing good? What didn't you guys like? What did, because it's so hard to actually get a Super Bowl in your city. There's so many requirements. There's so much that the town actually has to add just to get people there. That's why I think Vegas is going to be just every couple of years, because it's just, they can just do it like clockwork there. Like,
it's already built the infrastructure.
That's
they have everything there.
But like, there's something in Vegas every weekend. Not every town has something every weekend like that. So, but to say that it's kind of a fraud, it is kind of a fraud. Like, you think of a lot of these fan bases, like the conference championships we just watched, will have 1 million times the fandom at that game than at the Super Bowl. Like, most people at the Super Bowl don't give a fuck. Now, more than 1% of the tickets do go for sale, because people that win the lotteries of them, just sell them, because they're buying the ticket for $1,000 and they're going, I'm going to sell this bitch for $10,000.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do.
And that's what they do. Like, and people think it's crazy. Like, I was just looking, the cheapest ticket right now, 2 weeks ahead of the game, is $6,000
to sit in the parking lot.
Yeah, to literally sit in the parking lot. It was like 5,000 something, but after fees, it would, and that was the key. The cheapest ticket was like 5,000, like 5,500 something. The fees on it were crazy, and you had to buy 2 tickets. So it was like, Jesus.
So it was $11,000, $12,000 out the door.
Yeah. And that's before ridiculous. You even don't pay for the hotels, the flights. I mean, I'm going to New Orleans for Super Bowl week. I'm not actually going to the game. But again, it's a corporate retreat. That's what it is. Like, I'm there for a company. Like, that's real. You're just there working, grinding. Half the people are partying, half the people are grinding. It's kind of how it is.
Do you think the Super Bowl is overrated?
100%. I think I couldn't, like, I'm always going to watch it. I think it's a great TV watch. You throw a party, you have good food, whatever, you watch the commercials, but that is it. That is the extent of the Super Bowl. It is just so played out now. Like, it doesn't even matter. It just doesn't even matter anymore.
I think a lot about what the NFL is doing, especially where they want to start traveling every week to a different country. It's the fucking circus, bro.
No, it's the circus.
It's the fucking circus. It's come watch these fucking great athletes tackle each other and fucking try to kill each other for fucking millions of dollars and legacy. It is literally the circus on wheels. Yeah, that's how I think about it. And it's a 2-week hype to it.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl needs to be abolished.
Well, they don't do the Pro Bowl anyway. It's like flag football now.
I know, but still, like, the fact that Drake May is going to have a Pro Bowl next to his name as a rookie, dog. He had 2 wins on the season. My dude, the highest quarterback stat that he was like 20th. And it's just like, it's just dumb.
Bro, Mac Jones, his rookie year with the Patriots as well, got a Pro Bowl, and then literally is a fucking backup quarterback in the NFL. Like, can't even get on the field. So
I think they should start calling it the Participation Bowl. That's what it should be. Because all the good players don't actually play in it.
Yeah, that was what I was actually thinking about earlier. Every Detroit Lion should not show up. They should be fucking at the facility, gang banging the playbook and watching film, because those motherfuckers do not deserve a vacation or nothing. We are a poverty franchise that needs to get back to fucking work to maybe one day win a playoff game again before we go another fucking 50 years of just losing and bullshit.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. If I was the coach of a team, I would be like, yo, you guys don't need to be doing that. Y'all don't need to be going to that. Like you want Drake May throwing you the ball? Fuck, dude. That wounded duck is gonna be just
fucking
hurting.
flag football.
It's dodgeball. You can bet on the dodgeball games.
That's ridiculous, dude. What the fuck?
You can bet on them. I should, dude. If I was,
dude, we're so fried as a civilization.
Bro,
we're fried. It's over.
If I was playing on the dodgeball team, if I was on the AFC, I'd be like, boys, hammer the NFC for this. I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna shielding guys. Oh my bad, dude. Oh, I'd be fucking throwing the game, dude. I'd be like, Jeff, get out of here.
You got to have like your fucking friend.
Oh, he got hit. He's
you got to have your friend of a friend fucking place the huge wager on it for you.
For sure. I don't know if you saw any of the KATT Williams, Theo Vaughn, which shout out to KATT Williams for going on anything because we know he doesn't have to. But he made a crazy comment that I just was like, Zachary and I said this a year ago. We put this on wax. A lot of people think we were crazy. They're like, you guys are fucking conspiracy theorists. But KATT Williams said that every rapper that is rapping about gangs, violence, anything on that, selling drugs, whatever it may be, and is not in jail or has been to jail or been to prison for real, they're an FBI informant. And I could not agree more because we talked about this a year ago and we were like, they're all FBI informants.
Well,
I love Lil Durk.
FBI, the CIA, one of them created hip hop for control, to have more people go to jail, drugs, violence. It's exactly what they wanted, and it's exactly what they've gotten. Now, I will say, and this is the theory I was telling you before, I think these artists who get arrested, aka Lil Durk, and I'm like a fucking massive fan of Durk, so I kind of hate to say this, but it's probably the truth. So however many years ago, he got arrested for murder, got out, swept under the rug, who knows what happened, then gets arrested again, once again for murder. What I actually think it is, now, he may have actually murdered people. I want to put that out there. He may. I don't know the information. I'm not in Durkio's crew, etc. But what I think happens is the news, which obviously the FBI and CIA control and own, then put out, oh, he's getting brought in for murder, whatever, these type of trials, etc. And I think they bring them in to, one, spill everything they know. Like, so it's not like they're talking to the feds. They got arrested, so they're not talking. They got brought in. Tell them everything they know. They then are putting their agenda on them, like, you need to figure out more information about this person, what's going on with this, make music with this person so you get into his crew, etc. I think it's absolutely just a game of leverage and secrets, and KATT Williams is 100% right. It's the only reason that they would allow that. Like, bro, we got so many rappers, not so much anymore. It's definitely, the tide has definitely turned because so many artists are getting arrested for the things they're saying. That to be still rapping about gangs and killing people at the high level, I think we should add that at the high, like,
it's a
you got to be
level.
Durkio's level. If you're fucking got 50,000 followers and you're rapping about it, you're just trying to get on.
Yeah.
But when you're Durkio, YNW Melly, Lil Baby obviously came out and talked about, he's like, I got to rap different now, Future's talked about it a little bit.
Thug Gunna.
Yeah, perfect. Like, things are changing.
No,
I don't think they're all FBI informants, but it makes the most sense, to be honest.
Listen, if you are getting in trouble for the shit and you get out, you're probably an informant.
Well, that's what
Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's an informant.
Wife and Lucci literally gets out tomorrow, as we're recording this episode, gets out tomorrow, and he's documented killed like 3 people.
Yeah.
He killed Young Thug's baby mama, and he's out tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure Boozy Badass was responsible for like a mass murder and got out. So it's like, bro, people just get out for shit. Like there's tons of documentation. There's that one hippie dude in LA that like killed a bunch of fucking people. There's a movie about it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is about it. But that guy who was like running an LSD fucking farm was just murdering people. The FBI would pick him up and be like, all right, dude, like, get back out there. And they just pick him up from jail, put him back out there. Pick him back up from jail,
so you think they were just bringing him out there to be like, tell us what you know?
No, because they were using him as a mule of like LSD and like how it reacted to people, because that was in the time of World War II and they wanted to see how these drugs, because they thought it was like truth serum. am a fucking 100% believer, like Diddy, I know Diddy was an informant. I'm just
100%.
caught up. I'm just caught up in what did he do to piss them off, or is there some other long-term
what did he
play?
do? Is that he was recording everything, which I think in a way they wanted to. I think he recorded some shit he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
And he had it in a safe as like, if you guys fucking turn on me, I got this.
Yeah.
Which is why they raided his house.
100%.
They didn't want him.
Yeah.
I fully believe they didn't want him. They want the tapes.
And they're just waiting him out.
And they're just waiting him out until he says, okay, they're here.
Yeah. See, hey, if you guys go back to our first podcast of the year, one of my 2025 bingo cards was Diddy is getting out. And I literally said that because I was like, this motherfucker's an informant. And eventually this motherfucker's going to get out. And same thing with Dirk.
I don't think he's getting out.
Like Dirk is in prison right now. Is he not? Or did he get out?
I think no. I think he's still in jail.
I think he's still in jail or prison.
I just saw a picture of his lawyer. They keep posting his lawyer because she's like hot.
She's bad as hell, dog.
But like that. But then I see that and I'm like, this is just all fucking
It's
brainwash.
it is.
It's just brainwash.
But that's
it's to be like, oh, he got out. The hot lawyer got Dirk out again. Like it's a fucking. It's to make you look here, but the shit's happening here. That's where I'm like,
100%.
I love Dirk to death, and when he comes out, I'm still gonna listen to his music. But to say he's not an FBI informant or working, like,
hey,
I'm just.
You want to know who I think?
I'm just saying.
You want to know who I think's not an informant? YMW Melly, because that motherfucker been rotting in jail, dog. He don't give a fuck. Bro.
Well, I don't think
double murder.
I just don't think they can trust him. They're like, motherfucker, we just died. We can't trust you.
They're
You're
like,
just gonna kill more people.
They're like, Melvin's got fucking 4 different personalities right now, which is probably could be real.
No, he's nah.
I
That
think that could
motherfucker's
be
crazy.
real, bro.
That motherfucker's crazy.
You don't just kill your best friends and then just be like,
nah, he's
make
got
a song about it.
No. He's got real issues for sure. Great music though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind some new music by
bangers.
him.
Hey,
though,
listen,
for being honest.
The best artists have the most demons. So that's for real.
It's ultimate creativity. They feel everything.
Melvin, let him hit it.
But honestly, if you made it this far, drop a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe. Until next Friday, we'll see ya. Peace.
I gotta stack out this gold. I tell you I'm on the road. About to get all this dough. Me and no fuck niggas know. I swear to God we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on rough for greatness. They paper getters. They want money more than they want fake shit.